Hello, Splendor.
Destination.
The destination, okay. So I will say destination. Close my square bracket, right? Yeah, that is my range. And then what is going to be my criteria? What is going to be my criteria? My criteria is going to be Boston. So I can select Boston from here. I can either select Boston from here like G2, or I can type Boston. I can type Boston, or I can just select it from the table. So let me just select it from the table.
Will not be number of items. Sorry, it shouldn't be destination.
I was actually following you.
Sorry,
Okay.
sir.
So number of items, as you said, number of items. We are going to see whether you are correct or not. And then for our criteria now, Boston. What is our criteria? What will our criteria be, Splendor? Hello? Okay, you are just checking it out from your system. You've forgotten how you did.
Oh, let's boss.
Okay. So what you gave us is not correct. Is there anyone that wants to try? Apart from Splendor, because I can hardly hear Splendor.
Can I try?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, but my own method is quite different because I think I use that because it's like quite easy for me to do.
Let's
So,
go. Let's get to it.
all right, what I did was I call on my county function.
Okay, like we have here. So what is your
Yes,
range?
yes. Then scroll to the yes to the table. I click on put the arrow on destination. Make sure the arrow is showing black.
Okay.
No, on the destination.
Okay, something like this.
So bring it down a little. Make sure. Yes.
Okay.
Has it select? No. It just go back again. Go back.
I think this
It
is
should be.
what you are talking about range. Selecting from the first cell to the last cell here.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
So that is what I've just done now.
Yes. Then you put your comma.
Comma.
Yes. Then our criteria is Boston.
So did you type Boston or you selected it from the column?
I selected it from the column.
So I'm just going to select on Boston like this. Is this all?
Yeah. Yes, that's all. You close the bracket and hit enter.
Okay. And we have 4 orders
Yes.
made to
For
Boston. And
yeah.
we can confirm by just counting the number of appearances that Boston has in our destination. This is number 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can count simply because this data set is small. Assuming you are working
Oh
with a
yeah.
data set of about 500,000 or 700,000, you can't. That is
Yes, that's
why
we have
you
to
have
fill.
to, yes, even if you filter, you can't start counting the amount. Well, you can just see it on the status bar though. You can see it on the status bar here. So you can filter, but let's say there is no filter available for you. You will have to rely solely on your expertise using every one of these logical function.
Yes, sir.
So I hope that is understood. So that means you are going to do number 2 for us again. So let's see. Let's hear.
All right. Number 2, you still call on your count if function.
Okay.
Then the same thing, you place that arrow to select the range. from the table
Which part of the
on
table? The
items.
question said number of microwave orders. So
Yes,
items. So
items.
let me tell you something. If you are selecting the whole table, Excel is going to count the headers with it.
No, like you put it in between the D column and the header name. It will
Here,
select from yes, it will select from no in between D and item. Put it between
this
let
place.
the app yes,
Okay.
click on it. Yes.
I think I just learned
Then you
something new today.
your comma. Yes, then you put your comma.
Wow. Normally, this is how I do. Anytime I want to do something like this, I have always
Yes.
rely on just I can select the first cell and then I'll hold down my control and shift and select down. If I
Okay.
select down, you see it's going to be the same thing. But I think I just learned a new method this morning. This is why I said sometimes I enjoy what I do too much. So if I put my arrow here, it will just select the
Yes.
column for me very well. Then
Then you
what is going to be our criteria?
our criteria is microwave. You select from the range.
The previous one we did, we selected from the range, but let's just type microwave this time around. Let's see. I can just
Type
enter my quotation and say microwave.
yes.
But you have to be very conscious of the spelling. The spelling has to be the same thing with what you have in your data set, and then we can press enter. So we have five microwave orders, which is let's just come and filter. Then I'll select microwave. Then I'll click on OK. Yes, we have 5 microwave orders. So that's good. So one more. You are going to do one more for us. Then someone else is going to pick it up from there. The next one says the number of journeys with truck number 3.
All right. It's still the same. We call on the countive order. This time around, our range will be from it's going to be from the transport. Yes.
Okay.
Then we hit our comma.
Okay.
Then our area is truck 3.
Then I can just say truck
Truck 3.
3.
Close the quotation mark and close bracket.
Yeah. So we have 8 times that truck 3 traveled to make delivery. So that is just how simple it is. That is just how simple it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I think I
Anyone?
have a question.
Okay.
Can I give you? Please scroll out to the questions. Yes. The last question on the first section of the exercise. How many times are number of items less than 20?
20.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember I got that correctly. It's under sum if there is one particular 2 questions that have to do with a range of dates. Yes.
Let's get to that. Let's get to that. Don't worry, we are going to solve it. Let's get to that.
Because it really gave me tough time and I didn't
I
think I
expected
skipped.
that it's going to give everybody tough time, but let's get to that. Don't worry.
All right. Yes, sir.
So the next question says the number of Peter White's journey. The number of Peter White's journey, like from our data set, we know that Peter White is a driver. So we want to know the number of times that Peter White went to make a delivery. We want to know the number of times that Peter White went to make a delivery. So is there anyone that is going to, that will volunteer to do this for us? I don't want to call
Yes.
names. Okay. Okay.
So we are going to be using the count if
Count if.
2. So you
Okay.
put your equal to
Okay.
count if
Yes.
your data set.
Okay, you typed data sets. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then your
Square
quotation
brackets.
mark, square bracket, sorry.
Okay.
Then you go down, look for driver's name.
Driver's name. You can just type. If you type, Excel will bring them out.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Then
I
you close
close my square. Okay.
your comma.
Okay.
Then your Peter, your
Should
Peter
I
White,
type
but in
or
a
select?
curly bracket. Sorry?
Should I type Peter White or should I select it from my table?
Type it.
Okay. I like how everybody is choosing their own way. Anyway, now way. Just make sure your way is the right way. So it's very, very important. Just make sure your way is the right and the correct way. So we can see that Peter White traveled 6 times. And for confirmation purpose, simply because we are able to confirm, simply because this data set is small. Simply because this data set is very, very small. So please, let's just put that in mind. So let's see how many times Peter White traveled 6 times. So that is correct. So the next one, I want you to give us the next one again. The next one says, how many times are number of items less than 20?
Okay. You still go through that process. You're
Okay.
equal to your count if,
Okay.
your data set,
Okay.
your bracket.
Okay.
Then you type number of items. You see it.
Okay.
Yes. You close it.
Okay.
Equals, yeah. Then you put your less than 20.
In a
But in
quotation,
quotation, yes, sir.
less than 20.
20.
Is
And
that
you close it.
all?
Yes, close your bracket and
Yeah. Beautiful. So we have 9 times that the orders that the driver went to deliver was less than 20. And how can we confirm that? We can just come to our number of items here, come to number filters, and then we can say less than 20. And then if we click on it, we can see that we have 9 times, just like what we have here. It is as simple as that. You know, most people see it from afar. If you are looking at it, you will say, this thing is kind of challenging. It's looking as if it's kind of challenging until you start solving them. And then you will see that it's just nothing. So thank you for that. So let's go to the second part, sum if or sum ifs. The first question said, and then there is something that I want us to also understand. The mode of your question can also help you determine the method or the formula or the function that you are going to use. Whenever you are seeing a question like this that is saying number of orders, assuming it is saying the total number, if you are hearing anything like total number, then you should know that you are adding up, you are summing up. But if you are seeing just number of orders or number of anything, that means you are counting. Because most people always have a challenge. Most people ask the question that, how do I even know which particular function or column or formula do I need to use? The formula you are going to use, the method you are going to use depends entirely on the type of question, on the way the question is being asked, on the way the task is being asked. The supervisor can just come and say, please, can you just fetch out the number of our customers that are from the eastern region? In that mode, you are counting. You are using your count ifs. But if you hear, okay, can you give me the revenue, or can you give me the total revenue for our top six clients? The moment you hear revenue, you will understand that we are talking about currency. And you can only add currency together. You can't count currency. You can only add it together, or anything accounting. Then you are going for your sum ifs. So that is how to attack a question. And sometimes the question might come in a different mode and say, can you just let me know the average orders that is made by all of our customers, or the average orders we have in a month? Then you will know you are using your average ifs, or anything that has to do with your average. So sometimes, but as a matter of fact, most times, the way the question is asked is going to determine the way you are going to attempt the question. So moving on, the next question says the sum of refrigerator items. Who is going to volunteer to do this for us? The sum of refrigerator items. Lovina. Hello, Lovina. Can you hear me?
All right, can I go on with it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can go on God's time. Yeah. So how do we go about
Okay.
this?
For that, we'll be using the sum if function rather.
Okay.
Okay, and then our range will be data sets.
Data set.
And we'll open the square bracket, and then we select item.
Items. Okay.
Yes.
We are
Then we'll
closing the square
close the
bracket.
bracket,
Okay.
click comma. Then for the criteria, our criteria will be refrigerator.
Okay.
So
Are we
we'll select
typing or we are
refrigerator
selecting? Okay, we are selecting from the table.
from the column.
Okay. Selected these 6. And then the sum range. What is our sum range?
Okay, I think the sum range should be data set.
Okay.
Then we open the square bracket, and then select number of items.
I can hear your echo. I don't know, maybe you have your TV set on or your radio or something like that.
Is it better now?
Yeah, very better. No, I think it's still the same thing.
Let me try and fix that.
Okay, but this is the formula, right? This is your formula.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we hit enter, then we can see that the sum of refrigerator items is 105. And we can just confirm from here by just coming to the items, then we'll filter out, then we'll focus on refrigerator, click on OK. And then we can add every one of these things here together. 25 plus 15, this is 40. This is 65. This is 65 plus 15. That's 80. 80 plus 25, that's 105. So yes, you are right. So let's go to the second. Can you do the second? Can you give us an idea on the second question? Washing machines this time around. Washing machines this time around.
Yes. So we can go on the same way. The range is data set.
Okay.
And then choose the square bracket, open the square bracket, and then select item.
Okay.
Close. Then the criteria is washing machine. So we have to select washing machine from the table.
Okay. Instead of selecting, I have decided to type, which is still the same thing. Then the sum range. The sum range is going to be number of items.
Number of items.
Then we can see 164. And one more. The next one, sum if. Our range, as usual, data set. This time around, we are going for transport. And the criteria is truck 4. And the sum range this time around is still going to be number of items. So 156 times, 156 items in total was transported by truck 4. And then for the last one, sum if again, the range is still data set. This time around, the whole truck. Now, there is a trick to this. And as a matter of fact, I am interested in hearing everybody's opinion. Or who can tell me how they solved this? How did you guys solve this?
Okay, the way I did this one,
Okay.
I had to my filter.
You did what? Hello? Ghost time, can you hear me? I think I'm hearing Ghost time's echo. Okay. Sam, can you help us out?
Okay, some data sets,
Okay.
you call on transport,
Transport. Okay.
close square brackets, then quotation mark, truck,
Quotation mark. Okay.
asterisk,
Okay.
asterisk,
Okay.
yes, then close quotation,
Close quotation. This is
comma,
legitly ChatGPT's work.
data set,
Okay.
number of items, yeah, then close brackets.
Did you verify whether you got this?
Yes, I did.
This is legitly ChatGPT because the moment I heard asterisk, I know this is chat or an AI talking. It is right. Really, it is right. But it is also simple. Instead of going that route, part of the reasons why you have to understand your data and the kind of data you are working with and know everything about the data is that if you look at the transport, how many modes of transport do they have in the company? How many modes of transport?
Two.
I use sorry for that disconnection. I used a different method. I don't know if I can.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me hear your method first.
Okay, so first of all, we choose our some
I'm coming back to you, Sam, please.
Okay, first. Some ifs. That is the one with S.
Okay, some ifs.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then our sum range is data set.
Okay.
Then we open the square brackets and choose number of items.
Okay.
After closing the square brackets, click comma, and then for the criteria range one is data set again. Open the square brackets and then select transport.
Okay.
Then for the next our criteria, that's where the little trick is.
Okay.
Open the quotation mark,
Okay.
that is the double apostrophe,
Yeah.
and then type less than or equal to.
What is less than or equals? How do we type
Then
that?
close the quotation mark and
How
then
do
put
we?
our and sign, that is ampersand.
Okay. Close quotation. Ampersand.
Yes, then open the quotation again and type truck one.
Truck one.
No, I think you missed something, sir. For the greater than sign, I said it's supposed to be greater than or equals to, sorry, not less than and greater than. It's supposed to be greater than and equals to.
Okay. Then ampersand.
Yes.
Truck.
Yes. The truck should be inside the quotation mark.
Okay.
Truck, yes, truck one.
Okay. Truck one.
Yes, sir.
You
We'll
guys
close
are
the quotation mark and then
okay.
click comma,
Okay.
and then we move on to our criteria 2.
Okay.
The criteria range 2 is data set. Open
Okay.
our square brackets and click transport.
Okay.
Close it. Then for the criteria 2, we
Okay.
opened our quotation mark again like we did in the criteria 1. Yes, we have to choose transport first.
Okay.
Yes, we close the square bracket. Then for the criteria 2, we click comma. Then we move to the criteria 2.
This is criteria 2 right
There's
now.
quotation mark. Yes.
Quotation
We
mark.
open the quotation mark.
Okay.
And then in the first criteria, we used greater than.
Okay.
But in this criteria, we are using less than. So it will be less than or equal to. Then we'll close the quotation mark and then ampersand again.
You are taking me to where I don't know.
And then quotation mark again. We open the quotation mark.
Okay.
And then truck 4.
Truck 4. I am guessing we are going to have up to like 4
We'll
criteria.
close the quotation mark again.
Okay.
And then I think then that is the end of the, we'll just close the brackets.
Okay. And then I'll hit enter right now.
Yes, you can hit enter now.
511. Well, that is correct, but I'm not sure I've ever tried this method before. But at the same time, if it gets too long like this, like I said, how you arrive the answer is nobody's business. Doesn't concern anyone really. But at the same time, too, how you arrive at the answer, if it gets too complicated, it might become a problem for you too in the long run. What you did is right. What Samuel did also is right. Again, how you arrive at the answer is nobody's business. Just get the right answer. But there is an even shorter way that we can do this. And I was about to ask the other time that if you look at this transport column, how many modes of transport do we have in the company? How many modes of transport do we have?
Just 2 modes, by truck and then by airplane.
Exactly, just 2 modes, by truck or by airplane. It's just that the trucks has about 4 types of trucks, right? But it still does not validate, it still does not dismiss the fact that a truck is a truck. So now that we have that information in our hands, we can make our formula very short in terms of, we'll just say equals to sum if. Instead of going that long, our sum range, like we know, is data set and number of items. Now, sorry. The range is items. The range is item. And our criteria is, oh no, sorry. It's transports, not item, transports. Yeah. So now our criteria is that we know that we have just 2 modes of transport in the company. We have, if you don't travel by land, you travel by airplane. And the question says sum of items transported by trucks, which means we are counting truck 1 to truck 4 as 1. And airplane is also going to stand as 1. So instead, I can just put my criteria to just be into quotation, not greater than and less than, which means not equals to airplane. That is, this particular indication here has told Excel that show me every other result except airplane. Show me every other result except airplane. because I know I have two modes of transportation here, except airplane, and then for my sum range is going to be data sets and number of items. Instead of having to go through that long way, I can just number of items, sum range. Oh, sorry. Data sets, number of items. Okay. Yeah. So this is just how to even make it shorter rather than going the long way or the
Wow.
highway.
That's interesting.
I am able to use this simply because I know that I don't have any other mode of transportation. Assuming I have something like train or rail, then this particular formula might not work. I might have to go the long way, or I might just use, like Gostime said, or I might just use Sam's formula. But sometimes working smart is better than working hard. I hope we all understand this. So this is kind of a straightforward. But again, nobody cares about how you get it. Just get the job done. Nobody really cares. Nobody is interested in whether you use airplane or something. Just get the job done, and then we are good. So thank you very much for that. So for the next one, let me see. Lovina, I have not forgot. So you are going to take us through this second part, or the third part, I mean. The number of microwaves orders in Boston. Hello, Lovina, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, I'm not sure Lovina can hear me. Maybe she's having network issues. Is there anyone that wants to like volunteer to do this for us? The number of microwave orders in Boston.
Okay, I can volunteer.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so data sets. Oh, sorry, count ifs.
Count if or count ifs?
Count ifs.
Count ifs. That is, we are working with multiple criteria, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So data set,
Okay.
item in square brackets,
Okay.
close brackets, comma, microwave in quotation,
Thank you.
comma,
Okay.
data set,
Okay. For our criteria range 2.
destination in square brackets,
Okay.
then comma, Boston in quotations, then close bracket.
Voila, very simple. So that is twice, in 2 times, microwave was delivered to Boston. So let's go for the second one.
Okay, so count ifs,
Okay.
data set,
Okay.
driver's name in square brackets,
Okay.
comma, Peter White in quotation,
Okay.
comma, data set,
Okay.
transport in square brackets,
Okay.
comma, truck 1 in quotation, close brackets.
Thank you. Now let's go to the third one. Let me see.
All right. Count if.
Okay.
Count if.
Okay.
Yes. Data set. No,
Okay.
not ifs. If.
If. Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
That's what I used anyway.
Remember, I said count ifs can do the job of count if, but count if cannot do the job because count ifs can take care of multiple criteria. So even if you had used count ifs here, it's still going to do the job in as much as you don't have multiple criteria to consider. But if you say count if, let's go. Our range.
Data sets.
Okay.
date,
Okay.
comma, in quotation,
Okay.
greater than
Okay.
3/02/2013.
You said 02.
Yes, /2013.
Okay.
Then close quotation, close brackets.
I'm not sure this is correct. Let's go and check. They said Boston after the 3rd, after the 3rd of February 2013. So first of all, let's come to our date. Let's filter.
Oh, I mean, I got. Okay.
I'm coming. They said the 3rd, after the 3rd of February. So we are going to select everything except for 1st and 2nd. As a matter of fact, let me see. Let's see. Okay, after the 3rd of February. So
After would be
so
third.
1,
Oh,
2, 3. So after will be from the 4th, right? Then
yeah.
we'll click on enter. Then we'll come to our destination and let's check for Boston. So
Okay.
you can see that on the 5th and on the 8th, there was delivery to Boston. So it is
Oh.
not meant to be 0. This is why you have to use your count ifs.
Can I try?
I'm coming, please. You can try. I'm coming, please. I just want to let it be clear to him that if you look at the question very well, the question said number of orders in Boston, that is column 1, that is your first criteria. Then another criteria again, after the 3rd of February 2013, which means you are going to be making reference to another column again, which is date column. So your count if cannot work. Oh yeah, I'm listening to you. You said you wanted to try.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be using count ifs, just like you said.
Okay. The criteria range.
Yes, the criteria range is data set.
Okay.
We open the square bracket and select destination.
Okay.
Then close the square bracket, comma.
Okay.
Then we'll select Boston.
Or we can just type
Okay,
Boston.
okay, you've typed it already. Okay.
Okay.
So then the next criteria 2, data set,
Okay.
and then date. You open the square bracket, select date,
Okay.
then close the square bracket, comma. Then
Okay.
we'll open our quotation mark again,
Okay. Okay.
and then greater than sign
Greater than, yes.
equals to.
Okay.
We'll close our equal to, and then we'll close our quotation mark.
Equals to. Greater than equals to.
Yes, and then close the quotation mark.
Okay. You and this your okay. Ampersand. I'm expecting ampersand,
Yes,
right?
ampersand. Yes, ampersand.
You can't
Ampersand.
rely too much on AI. It's going to make you dumb.
And then we select the
Okay.
both